let's get into this. Let's just get into this game. I want to play some of Betrayal of Krondor. Let's do this. So for those that haven't been here before, let's change also the thing. Hold on. Let me change the thing. Betrayal at Krondor. Let's change this to retro. Bam. Bam. Great. I'm super excited. Because Betrayal of Krondor, so I don't even remember what happened when we last left off in Betrayal of Krondor. This is a fantastic PC RPG for those that don't know, who haven't been here for any of this. It's based on the fantasy book series, the what is it? The Rift War Saga, right? And this is our party. There's Patras. He's a little old magic using man. He's a fancy lad. And we have Locklear, who's a knight who's all ho ho ho. He has such great accuracy in his melee attacks that he will miss. He has a 103% chance of hitting. And will miss. And then we have old James. He's kind of middle of the road. He's alright. He's not bad. He's kind of a lockpicking thief. I don't remember where we're going, though. Let's see. We are headed... I don't remember. Oh, no. Well, let's see what happens. I think we were headed... southwest? We're going to run into... Oh geez, that's we don't want to go this way, right? That's to the north. We don't want to go there. Yeah, that's like enemy territory. You can't go past that point. You'll like endlessly fight guys. So we're resting. It's now daytime. This is an open world RPG of sorts, right? It's not truly open world. There are some restrictions into where you can go. Or they at least try to make you have a tough time.
I was wondering where you two were.
So we're talking to Duke Martin. So yeah, we poisoned the food. There's a minstrel that the bard employed here at Northward by the name of Tamni. All right, we're looking for the minstrel. That's right, the bard guy. That the Moradel were beginning to move down from Raylam, northward and past, he picked up all his things and disappeared in the middle of the night. Insisting he's brought back. The Baron mentioned this Tamni to us as well. Why is he imperative to coming back? Surely the men might feel a little betrayed, but if their morale is that shaky. Baron sent word a short while ago that a Nighthawk was discovered within the confines of the castle this morning. There's evidence there may be others. Nighthawks are these assassins. They're bad guys. There's this war brewing. And this main bad guy is uniting these Moradel tribes. They're these kind of like elf tribes, right? And going to do this big assault. And with us, we have a Moradel who kind of defected to and let everybody know. He's big evil guys trying to run the show. Is accuracy reduced from dodge to evasion chance or something in reference to having above 100% chance to hit? Well, sarcastic friend, it says that your chance to hit is 103. I mean, I guess reduced from dodge and evasion. I guess you'd be right. So it's possible he was connected with the Nighthawks. I understand. Find him and get him back to Northwarden if you can, but don't let him know you're suspicious. He might bolt. One of Gobat's scouts has told me there may be a goblin activity in the north, so hurry back when you're finished. I may need your help. Okay, I just don't remember where this guy has run off to. I think he's southwest. But I could be terribly wrong. Yeah. Okay. So our major goal is to hit and do some damage. Right? so that our wizard has an opportunity to do some magic. Because if somebody's next to him, he can't attack. So we do Evil Seek, right? We do max damage at Evil Seek. Throwing on that dude to kill him because he's a magic caster. It's a bad idea to have him have access to magic. Oh, he's legit in his pajamas. You know it. Have him heal. And see, because he's next to that caster, he can't do anything. And I'm having Patras heal. And bam. He's also wearing a nightcap. he's a delight. He's an interesting character. Oh, Patras is poisoned. Oh no. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I don't have a cure for the poison. Do I? Okay, hold on. Crap. Hold on. You can't sleep off poison. It just kills you. Sword of Knur. 25 plus strength. 30 plus strength. What do they got right now? That's a bad situation. Yeah, whetstones. Yeah, we got whetstones for days. Let's just hope that some of these guys have a cure for it then. Because that's bad. We can try to sleep. And in the worst case scenario, we can just reload at that point. Yeah, he dies. And so is Locklear too, apparently. Okay, so we need to load. Oops. No. Right click to cancel. So we're in a situation there where they can't get hit then with poison stuff, or else it's just game over. It's just game over. Game is brutal. It is absolutely brutal. Oops. It really is. Yeah, Patras has got we got stuff for days. We got rations for days, so we'll be fine there. But essentially, like, you've got to be very tactical, and I don't think I'm gonna check at the kingdom real quick back here and see if there's a hold on. Widow Halfgate greeted them at the door. Come in, she said warmly. They entered her house and made themselves comfortable. She prepared some tea. While she worked, she told them of the soldier at North Warden that she had her eye on. He's hooked. He just doesn't know it yet, she said with a grin. James smiled back, not knowing whether to envy the man or pity him. They spoke for several minutes and finally turned to leave, thanking her once again for her hospitality. Oh, that's right. We had to help that lady. Give her training to impress her boyfriend. He's poisoned. He's poisoned. Like, that's that. I'm wondering if I've got some kind of, like, spell. There's got to be something. Oh. That hurts. That hurts. Okay. I got to see if I've got some kind of spell that can cure it. Invitation. Health stamina transfer. Deactivates trap crystals. We'll see what happens. Oops, no, I don't want to do fit or rhyme. Metro Exodus is releasing a standalone edition of the game that requires ray tracing cards. It's the first AAA game to do so. Looks amazing. That sounds amazing. I loved that game. It was very good. I didn't kill the dude? So yeah, there was one instance of poison. He got poisoned. And like that ruins it. No worries, sarcastic friend. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try not to get poisoned. Let me see if... Yeah, Locklear's on fire. Let me see if there's a spell of some kind. In like the non. To read Moradel. Yep. Can see vessels. Can sense trash chests. Speaking of, yeah, it was a great game. I very much enjoyed it. And it was. I very much enjoyed the world and the ideas it was presenting. Okay, just don't get... Oh my god. He's like dead. Don't get hit. Yeah, so what we're doing now is trying to mitigate the use of ranged weaponry. There we go. I think we did it. I'm gonna have him just heal. I think we did it. No one was poisoned. Oh, thank God. So now we got a two-handed... it doesn't do enough damage. That's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. We got a key, though. I love this game. I really do. I was not expecting it to... Oops. To enjoy it as much as I have. And I really, like, can't wait. So, like, for those that don't know... Friday night, on my Friday night stream, we will be, it really resonates with me. I dig it. I like the strategy combat to it. It's brutal. It's brutal, don't get me wrong. But I very much enjoy the brutality of it. Let's sleep. Until we're healed. I don't need the seashell. Okay. I think I can go through here, but I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. Oh, there's so many people. We're gonna find out in just a second. Oh, come on. No. He's dead already. That's crazy. We're gonna find out. We're gonna try. I don't think we're supposed to be here. Ugh. Yeah. You've got 3 magic casters, some big major melee dudes. I think that's the wrong way. Oh, Bob, what are we doing? Yeah. Oof. Okay. It's just a matter of knowing where this dude went. Where did this bard guy go? And where are we? Let's see. So we tried going west. So I'm going to go south to Kentian Rush then. Oh, that's the wrong way. Yeah, go to the fork in the road. Here we go. Yeah, pay attention. There's a big fight coming up. But this is manageable. This is a fight that is manageable. Maybe it's manageable. Oh, he's poisoned. You've got to be kidding me. I don't know what to do with all this poison. He was down to 2 hit points. Oh yeah, he got poisoned. The thing is that to heal from that, you have to go to a temple or sleep for like 15 days. That is the way to go though. So we have to just try this again. Because the shop doesn't have a the poison cure. Doesn't have a poison cure. Which is crazy, I know. You need to not miss. Don't hit. Yes. Oh, thank God. Okay, Evil Seek. Dead. Almost dead. So their accuracy now is dramatically decreased. He's gonna heal. He's gonna go to the wizard. He's gonna kill the soldier. He's gonna heal. Oops. I hit the wrong button. There we go. Yeah, the game is getting brutal at this point. It's getting unforgiving. Like, don't expect any help. It's not Baldur's Gate bad. Baldur's Gate bad is, whoo boy. Because Baldur's Gate very much is like, yeah, good luck. Just, it's all luck based. It's luck based. See how it goes for you, right? Okay, so maybe there's not where we need to go. Okay, where is the thief or the bard?
I was wondering where you two were.
Yeah, dude, hi, how's it going? It's great. Where is the dude? Okay. So North Warden. Okay. We go this way from North Warden. Let's see if it's got supplies. You got the palace. He strolled into the trees, seeing a suspiciously ordered pile of leaves. He prodded its depths, but was relieved to find that no one had left a trap behind. Still curious, he decided to burrow. 2 gold. Okay. Let's see what's at the shop. Yeah, just armor. Oh! No, maybe not. Never mind. We're gonna buy as much of this as we can. It's just a single? Are you serious? All that for just a single thing of anti-venom. That's nuts. Okay. So let me see. We've got these geomancy stones. I don't know what they do yet. Yeah, it doesn't like the look of the battle. Duke Martin, yeah, he's on the road. Then I gotta go west into this giant fight that I don't want to do. Okay, so we gotta go west then to camp on the Teeth in Wolfram in that area. Because we can't go north. So that big fight that I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. I have to, apparently. Okay, so... It's true. It's not like I don't have enough cash. We need to go west.
I was wondering where you two were.
I'm right here, dude. You saw. At least we have the anti-venom now. So in the worst case scenario, we can recover. And what I'm gonna do is buff up my dudes big time to compensate. Am I going the right way? Yeah. Ah, crap. Okay. Whoa. What a weird setup. I completely intended a very different thing here. It is what it is, I guess. All right. 120. That guy's a big we're critting everything here. Oh my gosh. This couldn't be better. This couldn't be better right now. He's got a protective shield on him, but that's not a big deal. We can break that. Holy crap. He like crit on his spellcasting, man. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. No one got poisoned. That was amazing. That was amazing. Got rations for days. True Sight Tea. Time to bring the children to the beds. I'll probably be back before too long. No worries, Lip. Say night-night to everybody. Night-night, Lorelei. Night-night, Finley. Of course, I can't get through there. I have to go around, apparently. Good night, Elvis. Valentine milk. Elvis, thank you. Thank you very much. What do you got on you? Oh, frosted? Nah, I don't need the frosted. That's nonsense. Alright, so this is where I'm supposed to go. James pushed on the door of the barn. Despite the fact there were no locks visible, the wooden door refused to open. Despite repeated attempts, no one seemed to be strong enough to open it, separately or together. A lady with tear-stained eyes opened the door in response to James' knock. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were my brother. He's coming up to stay with me for a while. She invited them into her home and told them of her lover, who had recently been killed by trolls in a border skirmish near the fortress of Northwarden. Locklear asked gently, he was a soldier then? She nodded as a new well of tears pooled in her eyes. Friends have been bringing food, more than I'll be able to eat. You may take some if there's any left. We'll take it all. I don't know how much we'll need, but we can always toss what we don't use. In the tavern. Please. Yes, we can sleep here, which means that we can get full health. The man invited them to talk, a quiet, amiable fellow who was missing 3 of the fingers of his left hand. He smiled as James and Locklear told him some of the stories about their childhood together in Krondor. When at last they began a story about the minstrel Lori, who had become the Duke of Salador, the man nodded but interrupted them when they claimed he was the best minstrel that ever lived. I imagine this Duke of yours was quite talented, the man said, but a short while ago, a young lord played here, the match of which I've never heard. Immediately, Locklear and James exchanged a meaningful look. Then looked back to the man. What did this minstrel look like, James asked. Young, attractive, rather tall as I recall, the man said. Have you seen him before? James nodded. It's who I'm thinking, then yes. Do you happen to know what became of him? Not certain, but he was asking about for a place to put down for the night. One of the other patrons that was in here told him that a Franklin nearby sometimes leaves his barn open for travelers. He might have gone there. Making a mental note of all the man had said, James began to rise from the table when the man tugged at his sleeve. Another thing. The man told him that the door to the barn sticks quite a bit and that he might not be able to get the door open. It takes quite a strong man to get it to work. Keep that in mind, James said. Have a good day. We're sleeping till we're fully healed. Yep. Romance of traveling, I know. Everybody's getting fully healed. Fully, man. Fully. Okay. Oh! Patras played. And we got some money. Good job, Patras. I didn't think he'd have it in him. I didn't take him to be a bard. Alright. So let's save. We'll fight these dudes. Oh, God. Just heal. Ow. He's got magic. The dude has magic. I can't run. Just want to make it hard for them to hit. Oh, come on. 103%. You have 103%. Like, just for the love of God, stop missing. Got the anti-venom, which is helpful. Anti-venom's like the most important thing in this stinking game. Okay. Restoratives, super helpful. We learned very quickly how important the restoratives are in this whole thing. Because we're now in situations where you get into combat much more quickly without having access to any place to rest. Like, oh, okay. Hold on. Been here before. Oh, they can't until then. Yeah, 6 sovereigns a night is nothing. Like, we can do that. 6 sovereigns a night? Sign me up. Patras almost kicked the bucket. But we have rations for days. We're fine. I wonder what the store has. Like, is this a... Okay, I could sell my weapons here, I think. The horn is a tempting purchase. Good, good. We'll take more Silverthorn stuff. We will accept it. It's expensive, but we get 8 here. Okay, so I got stuff that I can get rid of here on his end. Ooh, okay. Yeah, we'll sell them. I don't need it. I really don't. The inn is abandoned. No one's lived here in some time. And then we got the door. James pushed on the door of the barn, despite the fact there were no locks. What? He says that it sticks. You need a very strong man. A very strong man. I wonder if there's like a character we have to talk to get that door open. That's my guess. It's abandoned. James knocked. A red-haired man opened the door and looked them over cautiously. Apparently satisfied, he extended an invitation into his home and helped them fill their pouches with fresh water. What can you tell of the camp on the Teeth? James asked the man innocently. What sort of information are you looking for? If you hear about that group down the road, I can tell you. I don't think they were too successful. James played along. Oh, why is that? Well, the man replied, seems there was all kinds of activity up north. We got set upon by at least 3 goblin bands, finally figured out how to kill them. Then the trolls got after them. They found out how to kill goblins? Asked Patras, incredulously. How? The man shook his head. Don't really know. You'd have to ask them. Oh, one more thing. They want a password. And they won't even let you in. Tell them it's golden treasure. Nice. Okay, so that's a little bit of info that we needed. We don't need that. I'm sure. So he was... Alright, we got ambushed, apparently. Poisoned. Right up the gate. Poisoned. Used to think maybe he's not poisoned. Maybe he's not. No, he's poisoned. He's absolutely poisoned. Locklear's poisoned. Of course he is. Everyone gets poisoned. Locklear was on fire. I guess I have enough stuff to kind of cure that, but it's still a pain in the butt. No, search the dudes. Spoiled rations. You always have to check the rations to make sure they're not spoiled, because that ends up like just completely ending the... It ruins all your stuff. Okay, let's see how we do here. Okay, we're not surprised. What's he trying to do there? There we go. We're doing much better now in the combat department here. Nobody's getting poisoned for the most part. And it didn't hit us with any of their magical stuff, which is also very helpful. Yeah, we don't need that stuff. Locklear felt a stinging poke. Ouch, he cried out, looking for the insect responsible for his discomfort. Finding none, he turned to a puzzled Patras to explain his outburst, but before the words could come out of his mouth, Patras felt a bite. What is this place called, the Magician? Feeling still another sting. I don't know, said Locklear, but I suggest we leave here at once. Place is abandoned. Spoiled rations. Drawing water. Are they okay? You guys alright? Yeah, you're fine. Odd. The front door was scratched heavily, as though by swords. His own sword drawn, Locklear cautiously ventured inside. The weather-beaten exterior of the house was in better shape than the ransacked interior. What was left of a small wooden table and 2 chairs rested at odd, splintered angles throughout the house. After a brief search turned up nothing of interest, they decided to leave. Did thieves do that? There'd be no reason for them to tear the place up like that. No, the evidence of my eyes suggests a small band of trolls recently paid a call here. Probably killed the owner, and his family too. I pray to Isham they didn't find any women when they arrived. The remains of a sheep lay just inside the door to the barn. Its body a twisted, bloody mass of bone and wool. Patras stood open-mouthed, breathing heavily. It was obvious that the animal had been carved with a knife, and that the carver was after its meat. What disturbed him was the brutality with which the act had been carried out. Blood had splattered everywhere. There were bits of dried meat on the walls and ceiling, probably flung there by the knife, as it violently hacked in and out of the defenseless creature. Other animals in the barn had met a similar fate. Locklear thought it was strange how the sight of men killed in combat had no more effect than the scene laid out before him. After a moment's hesitation, he decided it was time to leave. Interesting. I'm just trying to see if there's any... Yeah, ouch. I don't know. We should leave this place alone. Ashes were cold. Like, did that do any extra damage to them? It did. How much? Just a couple points. It wasn't anything serious. Huh. Peculiar. Body, nothing there to be seen. This course is futile. We'll gain nothing save a waste of valuable time if we continue to travel in this direction. We must turn back. Huh. I wonder what I need to do. I mean, there is the barn that we need to open to get to the dude. But it's like, hey, you need to be strong. And it's like, I thought I was. Welcome back, Lip. How's it going, my friend? I hope you're doing well. I'm super stoked. So I'm getting the itinerary for the podcast I'm going to be doing. Oh, here we go. I've been here before. That I'm going to be doing a guest on. I'm so excited. I'm so anxious and so excited. And I'm very excited at the prospect of doing a podcast of my own. I'm going to be recording. So essentially, my plan, right? We're recording a podcast to talk about Callahan's Crosstime Saloon. Why can't we open that door? Like, they talk about it. And I'm so confused. That's where the dude is. Right? Can't smoke him out. Maybe we need to, like, sleep by the barn? Right? Let's talk to this dude again. So James remembered the man. Smiling warmly at them, the man asked how their search for the missing minstrel was going. Have you found him yet? No, James replied with a sigh. I was hoping you might have some more insight on the issue. The man shrugged. I'm not sure I know how much to help you with. All I know is that he headed towards the old barn with the sticking door. Happens quite a bit up in these climates. What do you mean? It's all the rain, the man said. Warps the doors and rusts the hinges. Half the farmers in these parts have to keep a supply of Fatimore's formula handy, just so they can get at their cows in the morning. Didn't know that, James replied. Oh, well, I'll leave you to your drink. Okay, so Falidor's formula. Assisting to bring to life a brand new D&D themed podcast, recording the first episode on Friday. Very nice. Is that with the Geek to Geek media podcast? Fatimore's formula. Time to find magic WD-40. Yep, got it. I would be so mad if I had some already. Oh, very nice. It's exciting. That's very exciting. I hope, Sakura, that it goes super well. And then I'm definitely going to pursue that magazine podcast. I need people. What drives me crazy, and I'm not mad at anybody in particular about this. I'm not mad in general. But it drives me crazy that so many people are like, it's a great idea. It's like, so would you like to help? No. I'm like, oh man. I need a good podcast co-host. Though funny enough, we're calling it 3 Geeks and a Lizard. I like it. Okay. Be mad at me. I'm one of those people about everything. Don't be. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm not mad at anyone. Even if people like it's a great idea. No. Never mad at anyone. But I'm like, oh, I just want to make something. I just want to make something. It's all about being willing to invest the time. That's true. A lot of people are busy, and I know this. But my brain is like, I always have time. I always have time. Even when I don't. Even when I don't. James pushed on the door of the barn, but it refused to budge. Despite the fact there were no locks visible, the wooden door remained securely closed. Finally, after a great deal of struggling, innumerable grunted curses, and with a giant whining screech, the rusted hinges released. James motioned to the figure across the room. The man walked over to join them. He stood before them, shifting nervously.
Baron wants me?
Baron wants me? I didn't expect to see. I didn't think anyone would, come after you? Bah, I should have known it. You'll come a-prancing into Northwood with that little twanging box of yours, and you sing a blue streak about honor and glory, but when it comes down to it, you ain't got the picture. Instead, you got this yellow streak. You never stand and eyeball your problems. Face to face, you let other folks run around. One day, somebody's gonna run your life right off a cliff. I'm the one telling me to leave Northwarden. Me. That's Tamni the Minstrel's decision, not someone else's. I'm making the decision to live. Well, the Mordell done run you off, and they ain't even got here yet. They done a better job on you than any Duke or Baron you crossed. Swords with before. I'd not be in a castle with a coward like you anyway. That isn't fair. I'm a minstrel. What good would I be? I don't know how to use a sword. I don't know how to heal wounds or direct a battle. I'd just be in the way. What good would I be? I'm just one insignificant man. Not so insignificant, Tamni. Before I went to serve in Krondor, my father used to advise me, when you have earned your title, make sure your minstrel is well paid. I hadn't a clue what that meant until I saw the battles of Armengar, and High Castle, and Sethanon, and other scents. When men sit and listen to songs about great battles, they remember men, like themselves, have faced terrible dangers, and emerged alive. That gives them hope. Sometimes that's the only thing that an army needs. But why do they all have to depend on me? Why did fate arrange it that I was the minstrel who happened to be at North Warden? We aren't going to force you to go to Tamni. It's your life, your decision. If you choose to leave, that's your own business. Could I request a favor of you before I make a final decision? Well, anything, if it will set your feet back on the road to North Warden. There's a cave not too far from here that is known as the Diviner's Halls. Within there are several small stones called pattern stones by geomancers. I've already got those. Which can foretell a man's future. If you return with one, I'll make my decision. Well, geomancy? Should have figured you go in for that hosm possum. Just another way for saying something else to make your hard decisions for you. Quiet, Petrus. We will see what we can do, Tamni. We got you, Tamni. Don't you worry. Did you get to the Diviner's Halls? Did you bring back the pattern stone? Oh, don't get yourself into a tears, Tamni. We got your silly rocks. Now you're walking back to North Warden, or we are dragging you. I will walk back myself after I've studied the rock. Tell Baron Gabbert that I'll be there soon. I think he'll be rather more relieved than you might imagine. Oh, why's that? Before I was off from the castle, I had it in mind I wasn't to leave until I had at least made some provisions that I could survive. Even assuming I slipped out of the castle without notice, there was still the issue of how I would pay my way until I reached a safe haven. So after a bit of investigation, I found the treasury. It was being guarded by a fellow by the name of Corby, a fellow who's tryst with a certain girl by the name of Tia. I have had the vicarious pleasure of orchestrating over the past several months. Once I'd convinced him that she was awaiting him, it was a simple matter of slipping inside and grabbing up a pouch. Not as if the Baron missed a few gold sovereigns. I think he's involved with other things at the moment. Exactly as I was thinking, but it seems that what I picked up in the dark was worth rather more than a few dozen sovereigns. Several hundreds more. Once I realized what I'd done, I became terrified of going back. I could see why. When the Baron told us to come and get you, he made no mention of missing money. It's entirely possible that no one has noticed the missing funds as yet. You can take them back to him. I can't. Even if I return them, the Baron will be aware that Corby left his post open for me to plunder. No, I can't say I behaved much like a friend to him. I don't wish to betray him twice with the same crime. Actually, I have something of an admission to make. He's the reason why I asked you to retrieve the geomancy stones for me. They aren't worth much, even to a gems dealer. They can be used to make an attractive stone for a wedding band. For Corby? Of course. So you've been considering returning all this time, but you wanted to wait until you could cover all possibilities. All but one. I was wondering if you would take the pouch of diamonds and hold on to it until after the battle was over. This way, no one gets hurt, and we can all do what we need to do. Tell him you took him off a dead Nighthawk or something. When you go back to the castle, it's a possibility they will search you since your behavior has been a little odd. I'll take the diamonds, but I'll worry about how I'll tell him later. My only concern is that you return immediately. We have other things we need to do. For Duke Martin. Done. I'll see you all back at the castle. Don't be too happy about this, Tamni. You and I will have a big score to settle on later. Don't let yourself get killed getting back there. Nice. Progress. Saving. Going back to talk to what's his nuts. He should be popping up here in just a second.
I was wondering where you two were.
Yeah, we're into goblins. I'm beginning to get wistful for the days when we were running the billets of Krondor for Master DeLacy. Haven't had this much exercise in a long time, so where are these goblins you told us about? What about Tammany? Did you find him? Yes, though it took a little extra work to get him heading back to North Warden. He promised dutifully he would return, and I believe he will. We had a long talk. I can see now why Rutha values you so much. Personally wouldn't have believed it possible, but as things stand, we still have a long road to hoe, as they say. A goblin company of archers has already moved into the pass and is trying to entrench themselves there. If they get a foothold, they may be impossible to root out once the Mordel roll in. We need to find out what their deployment is going to be when the battle begins. Okay, so grab their leader, give him the hot poker treatment in the dungeon under Northwarden, tell us where to find him, and he's yours. No good. As soon as they discover he's missing, they'll change their tactics. No, what I need is the big plan, and I'll be willing to bet that it's still in Raglan. How many scouts has the Baron lent you? Ooh, voice. I have about 20 men out at the moment. Why? Then you won't miss the three of us much. We're going to Raglan. We'll find a way to get that plan for you. Plan to march through a company of Goblin archers to the city where the Mordil are massing. Walk right up to a leader of the enemy and say, "Excuse me, may I just borrow your war plans, please?" As I recall, I snuck the future Duke of Kryde, Prince and Princess, and the Admiral of the Western Fleet out of Krondor, while I was under siege of Jocko Radburn and Guy du Bas-Tira. I think I can snatch a silly piece of paper. I think if Prince Arutha didn't want to make you the Duke of Krondor someday, he would probably have you killed as a madman. All right, then, get that paper. But be careful. I'll be waiting for you. Yeah, can't. Yep, be careful. Woo! So where are we headed? Raglan. So we have to go north now. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Let's see how we do. Terrified right now. I think okay, so it looks like the big force and stuff like that have left. So it clears the way for us, which is nice. Oh, no, this is northward, and this is why. We found Tammany as requested. He's told us he'll be returning here as quickly as possible. Now, I appreciate your efforts, but I have other matters to concern me at the moment. I still do not like the look of this battle. Anything you need from me? I know, fried rice. It isn't. It should change. It should have changed. Yeah, I'm Betrayal of Krondor now, buddy. How's it going? How's it going, fried rice? I hope you're doing well. What you been up to? We beat Wind Waker. So we're continuing on Betrayal of Krondor, the PC RPG. Actually, I will. No, when I first saw you, it occurred to me to ask you something, but whatever it was has utterly slipped my mind at the moment. Will it bother you if I come to ask you about it later? We have a few things we need to attend to elsewhere. Yeah, see ya. Yeah, we beat Wind Waker, man. Loved it. Such an amazing and striking final confrontation. It's really something to behold. That game is super special. Okay, so I want to go north, this way, northeast. No, that is North Warden. We don't want to go to North Warden. Other way. Thank you. I enjoyed it immensely. It's such a fantastic game. It really is. It is such a fantastic game, and we need more like it. Although I do feel that like the last third of the game is a little slog, just a bit. A band of goblins milled in the roadway. James stared hard at the leader of the goblin band that faced them. At his side, Locklear counted heads, silently calculating the combined worth of the mercenary force. "What do you think, Lockie?" James muttered. "Whatever Delacon's game is, he's paying for it." Locklear replied grimly. "Goblin mercenaries charge small fortunes for their services. By my guess, there's at least 1,000 sovereigns worth of them here. I don't think they'll attack us unless they think we're getting too close. Might be able to negotiate a passage price." "Ha!" Patra spat. Dark brothers are dark brothers. They're just mean-spirited, period. Stepping out of the ranks of the enemy, a tall, pale-complected goblin drew his sword and pointed it at James, speaking the kingdom tongue with some difficulty. He glared at them with black eyes. You speak price of passage, he says. Dargoon, here, speaking of you, and tell to Gula. Gula consider and say price of passing as being thousands of 2 sovereigns. Thousands of 2, James repeated. You mean 2,000 sovereigns? If you pay, we shall let you pass. If you come closer and not pay, we will kill you. James produced the required amount. Throwing it at the feet of the goblin, he waited for it to be collected by the scrambling mercenaries. You promised passage, James said. Yes, the goblin replied. We not fight, nor shall any our company you meet. Tell them you paid your way at Gula's command. We will fight for your baron. As the goblin leader moved away, Locklear chuckled as he whispered in James' ear, Imagine the look on Baron Gabbeth's face when that lot marches up in Northward and announces they're fighting on his side. He'll have a fit. James smiled. Too bad we won't be there to see it. That's nice. How much money do I have now? Wait. Okay, I've got 2,709, so I'm still good. Locklear took a water pouch out of his pack and leaned over the well. A strange smell invaded his nose, and he sniffed it again suspiciously. It seemed to be coming from the well. He leaned over even more and tried to focus his gaze on the water below. As Patras approached, he held up a hand to stop him. I do not think that is ordinary well water. No. I believe you made the right decision. Look at these goblins. Goblins, pah! The wind howled. Eyeing the gap, which was the mouth of Northwarden Pass, James turned to Locklear and clapped him on the back. So how about a little fun, old friend? Oh, you know, I've lost friends every time I've gone into the Northlands, Locklear replied coldly. Branwen, Captain Moyet. James nodded. Sounds to me you've got something to pay them back for then. What do you say we go stir up trouble with Delacon's troops in the Northlands? They marched in silence. Fearing that the sound of their kingdom's speech would carry in the cold, they moved as quickly as possible through the treacherous Northwarden Pass, each steeling themselves for the difficulties that lay ahead as they surveyed the snow-covered landscape. Oh, God. Curiosity overcame him. Peeling back the thick hide which covered the frame, James took a chance to look inside. Yeah, just nothing good. Nothing important. No. All right, let me see something. Let's use the telescope. Okay, so... Oh, there we go. I don't think there's a way around this. Let's see what happens. Stumbled. That guy casts spells. Oh, throwing rocks. You know what? That's not bad. You missed. I'll take it. But yeah, like 6 points of damage. I'll take 6 points of damage every day. All day, every day. Ow. I will not take that though. Stop hitting him, dang it. There we go. There we go. That was a big one. That was a big one. New dudes. They looked pretty beefy. Take all the rations we can get. Because I don't mind like sleeping it off, you know? Stuff just doesn't do the same damage as what we got right now already. Where are we on the map? So we're going to Raglan. We're almost there. Let's sleep until healed. And we're gonna use the telescope. That also counts the bodies, right? Yeah. I'm much more concerned about like surprise attacks and such. So you always have to kind of save constantly because you always run. We caught him off guard. That's so good. Getting the surprise is everything. Of course, it wasn't that much of a surprise, apparently. We're so screwed that we got the surprise and we didn't get a surprise. Yeah, that's garbage. Hot garbage. Of course. Of course. They froze our magic dude. Yeah, he's down. BS. Yeah, we're gonna do that fight again. And he died. Instantaneously. It's brutal. This game is brutal. Okay. So what we're gonna do is enchant that. Let's get that going. I was not surprised. At least we're now in a different position. Guess there's that. Come on. Ugh. Come on. Everybody's frozen right now. Except for James. Oh my gosh. That was brutal. At least nobody was poisoned, I guess. Nobody was poisoned, so we're fine. You know what? I want more info, please. Okay. There's trouble ahead. Unable to pinpoint the source. Oh, crap. Oh, okay. I know, right? The catapult. I like it. I like it. Shoot. What's his magic do? Deactivate trap crystal. Nope, none of that works. No, you idiot. Heal. Son of a... Guess there's that. I guess they saved that. Luckily gaped in wonderment at the heavy wooden catapult. They walked around the weapon and studied it from every angle, spending extra time looking at the firing and trigger mechanisms on the whole. It appeared to be in good condition, though one of the torsion gears had broken. Morda must have built this toad-throwing toy to annoy the Baron. They never get it up the pass. 4 old grump buckets shot him down. Perhaps it's of no use to them. Now, unless someone fixed it in order to lob stones at Raglum. Now that's peculiar now that you mention it. Tell me, Lockie, if you were just going to leave something like this lying around in a field, even if you didn't have it working, would you leave it painted at your home? What are you getting at? The only reason this thing won't function is because one of the torsion gears is broken, not something all that complicated to fix. Suppose the gear didn't break of its own accord. Gorath told me that many of the Mordell clans had reservations about fighting under the old battle colors of Mormandamus. Now, if you were one of those clans and wanted a backup plan in case you wanted to back out of the strike, it'd simply be a matter of installing a replacement gear. And pulling the release lever. It even has a payload in the basket, of course. Assuming we could find the part ourselves, we could stir up some trouble, maybe find a way to get to the plans Duke Martin needs in the confusion. Perhaps we'll need to find a replacement catapult part first. I doubt there's one lying around somewhere, but let's check around. They searched the area for half an hour, hoping to discover a replacement part for the broken gear. When it didn't materialize, they picked up their packs and prepared to leave. Let's heal. Okay. Okay. An old mortal answered their call. Despite the unusual group he found before him, he allowed them into his tent. He spoke to them in the kingdom tongue. Were things you wear taken by combat, or do they represent true loyalties? Locklear spoke quickly. We're from the kingdom, but we bow down before only two powers, gold and silver. The Moradel was either satisfied with this answer, or he was too tired to care. He motioned for them to sit down. After a short conversation, they found out that he had come to Raglan to die, too old to travel with the rest of his clan, and not willing to stay alone in Raglan. He had resolved to wander off into the forest and let his life slip away like the wind in the trees. Though he hated the Moradel race, the conversation made Patras sort of sad. He was glad when they left. Yeah, Moradel's a bit of a racist. The Moradel clans are largely migratory. There are a few small towns like this one with houses, but the tent before us is a more customary dwelling, Locklear whispered. He called to the occupant of the tent, but received no answer. The owners appear to be away. Perhaps you should take a look inside. Locklear looked around carefully, then pulled back the flap of the tent and slipped inside. Patras stayed outside as lookout. There was a bedroll on the floor and some rations in a small chest. Something on the wall of the tent caught his eye, and he went to have a look at it. What had looked like a message of some sort turned out to be nothing but a small blemish. Took a step back, putting his foot in the middle of the bedroll and into something hard. Pulling the bedroll aside, he discovered a mortal lamprey hidden underneath. Oh, just a sword. What did he do? Yeah, small family. Pulling back the flap, James took a moment to survey. The tent hasn't been lived in for some time. No one's lived here for some time. This is why we save constantly. The game locks up a lot at these houses for some reason, and I don't know why. Yeah, gotta close out and come back in. Whew, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. James approached the Moradel Tavern. So really think you could just walk right in without attracting unwanted attention? Asked Patras. It's a trick I learned many years ago. Everyone will gravitate toward the simplest solution to any dilemma, he whispered, reaching for the door. Patras wasn't convinced. This is highly irregular. Look at it this way, James continued. We either have a legitimate reason to be here, or we are completely insane and are walking right into the middle of enemy territory. Doesn't make a lick of sense, so everyone inside will assume the first is true. Now try to act like you belong here. Get some sleep, Sakura. Whoa. Hold on. Yeah, get some sleep. You deserve it. You work too hard. Get some rest. Thanks for hanging out and keeping me company amongst all this, so I appreciate it. The Moradel approaches them, apparently satisfied with the story about being mercenaries from Quag. The Moradel told them that he was a trader who made frequent trips to several of the towns located near the border between the kingdom and the Northlands, explaining his command of their language. What can you tell of the push south? Asked James. Word has it that Captain Krondor received his final orders for the move against Northwarden. Feudal. Good night, Sakura. Bye! Word has it that Captain Krondor received his final ATM machine. Long time no see, my friend. How are you? I hope you're doing spectacular. What have you been up to? Tell me. Yeah, playing Betrayal at Krondor. We're on Chapter 4 or 5. I had to take a quick break. I had to go play through and complete Wind Waker because I'm going to be doing a podcast talking about that, recording that on Saturday. I'm glad to know you're doing okay. Have you played Betrayal at Krondor before, my friend? What can you tell of the push south? Asked James. Word has it that Captain Krondor received his final orders for the move against Northwarden. Feudal. With our numbers, we have no hope of surviving the march to it and then breaching the walls. His kingdom baron will crush us utterly unless the engineers come up with something. Try not to be interested. James prodded the Moradel further. Segerson? The Moradel stared at them strangely. I had heard he was killed in a Quagan battle near Palanque. I wouldn't know, James recovered casually. I've not been on foot for 8 years or more. I've been working on a press gang. The Moradel replied. Well, it's all a moot point at the moment anyway. Krondor has locked himself into his commandeered command post to work on the battle plans for a goblin offensive, and the engineer just sits in his house drawing up designs. Hopefully the kingdom won't elect to retaliate after his madness is over with. They thanked him for the information. he was able to provide and casually strolled back to a spot near the tavern door. Decaf Jedi, how's it going? Yeah, ATM machine. It's a dynamics machine. Think Bubble Baggins, welcome back. Ishop! Matawi. Ooh, Prime Nerd, how are you today? Welcome, Decaf Jedi. It's always a pleasure, good sir. How you were playing? What were you playing tonight? Let's get a shout out. Bob the Blobfish. Natty Science, how are you? What were you playing tonight? Betrayal at Krondor is going well. We picked it back up. We just beat Wind Waker tonight. Monkey Island 1. Where are you at in Monkey Island 1? I needs to know. ATM Machine says, insisting on the half-elf character having a goatee despite the apparently not being canon in the books thing was, yeah, this is true. Followed by a few minutes of Touche, The Adventures of the Fifth Musketeer. You finished it up tonight! Yes! Congratulations. What's next on the docket for you? I know you're doing Breath of the Wild still, but what is next in your adventure game docket? Are you going to continue with Touche? Yeah, the lead artist apparently refused to change it. It's so crazy. Although, Space Quest 1. Black and white Space Quest 1 for the original Mac. What? Folks, ATM Machine, you may be interested in this. There is point and click interface. What? I'll have to see that. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Prime Nerd, for the follow. Thank you so much. A quick aside. My Friday night streams typically go from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's going an extra hour at 1 a.m. Eastern time, Saturday morning, technically. I'm going to be doing a stream with these indie developers who made a game, or making a game, called Call of Saragnar. It's inspired by Betrayal at Krondor. I'm going to be demoing it with the developers and talking with them about the game. I'm super excited. The AGI Macintosh ports were super weird in how much they added. They're amazing, strange grab bags of added functionality. Ari, the Mac Space Quest 1. We're talking about speed runs. How about a slow run? Play the whole game using the walking actions of the menu bar. Oh, man. Please don't do that. I wouldn't want you to do it either. Let's play some music. Oh, we got kicked out. We botched the barding. The Color Apple version of AGI games may have had mouse support as well. Interesting. Well, I guess, let's see. I'm trying to recall, because I had King's Quest 4 on my Apple IIgs. And it had the old text parser, not the updated one, not the SCI ones. And I'm curious to know if it had stuff like that. All right, let's see. But yeah, man, it's so good to have you. Thank you so much, guys. For folks who are coming in and haven't met me before, I'm Bogus Meat Factory. I'm a player of all games, new and old, a lover of everything. There's no gatekeeping in this little community, this little niche I call home. It's a fascinating place to come in and enthuse, to talk about the games you love. I love hearing perspective on games so that the stuff that I don't necessarily like may better understand. I might like them even a little bit more. Maybe I'll play it. Maybe we'll see. But I'm all about just talking about game design and enthusing about just silly, stupid stuff about video games. Because it's something I love. It's a massive passion. So for those that haven't been here before, it is a pleasure to have you. An absolute pleasure. Like I said, we just beat Wind Waker HD from the Wii U, and we've moved on to continue our journey in Betrayal at Krondor. So that tells you a little bit of the variety that we experience here. Interesting, man. That would be so cool to see, though, the Mac Space Quest 1. I did not know. Because that's the thing. I had an Apple IIgs, and I had Space Quest like 2 and stuff like that. And so I don't remember there being a mouse. Maybe I'm crazy. I'm probably crazy and not remembering. I'll have to see. Because I had Space Quest 1 as well, but it was the color Space Quest 1, but I don't remember a mouse. But of course that was 35 years ago. So like, what do I know, you know? Sorry, James approached the Mordell. He eyed them suspiciously, then shrugged. Though he spoke to them in the kingdom tongue, his speech was broken and somewhat slurred. You've been hired by Narav's brother? What's his name again? Nago? Asked the Mordell. James nodded his head. Yes, we're mercenaries from Quake. Just arrived. What news have you of the thrust south? The Mordell lowered his head, then whispered, They say Captain Kroldeck has got final orders for the move against North Warden. Beyond that, I ain't got the finest what's going on. Resigning himself to the fact that the Mordell had nothing more value to tell him, James remained for a short while to listen, not wanting to attract undue attention to themselves at least. He excused himself from the table. Let's sleep. So yeah, for folks that don't know, this is an amazing computer RPG from Dynamics, published by Sierra, and based on the Rift War Saga series of books. Super fantastic. It's a lot of fun. It's got a grid-based strategy combat system, which is really good to play around with. A strange old elf answered the door. He glared at Patras suspiciously with upraised eyebrows. Yes? Did Aaron the Minstrel send you to sing for me? Yes. Well, come in then, he said, ushering them all inside. I'm very busy, but I work much better with music playing. Helps me think. Yeah, so Rouge, this is technically DOSBox. I use GOG, and we're doing the mode where we've finagled with the music so that we have some better quality music than the basic MIDI, and we're able to get the voices that are only with the MIDI version. We had a lot of finagling to do to get this working right, because you can't get voices in this game if you do the higher quality audio version that comes in DOSBox. It's ridiculous. Same dynamics that had Raven 7 and Nova 9? I don't know, Prime Nerd. That I don't know. I mean, it's the same dynamics. They got acquired by Sega in the early 90s. Well, come in, he said. Yep. And what manner of work do you do? Asked Patras. The Mordell scowled. You're here to sing or ask questions. There's a lute over there in the corner. Use it. Oh no. We've been having an issue with this game. It's been locking up a bunch. Let's see if we can get this fixed. Because this is, I think, a very important plot point. I think this is a very important plot point. I'm worried. We have abscond. You got Patras now? Yeah, he's holding up great. I love him. He's awesome. Let's just sleep a little bit. Oh no. Oh no. If the game relies on this, our run is over. Our run is over. I don't want it to end like this. I hope that it doesn't rely on it. But we're going to see. I'm going to tell him no. And then we're going to see what happens. Why are you annoying me? Screamed the Mordell. Before they could protest, he stormed into his house, closing the heavy door with a bang. Oh, it even locks up there. Okay, so we can't even talk to him. We've been having a lot of issues with the game crashing on me. It was based on Wikipedia. Super cool. Stellar 7, not Raven 7, was one of my OG computer games. What was it like, Prime Nerd? Tell me about Stellar 7. What kind of game was it? Well, let's see. Let's see what happens, because it might not be... We might not need to go into that house. Hey, Tank Gamer Issues stuff, sign me up. Of course, this locks up as well. Oh my gosh. Everything is falling apart. Everything is falling apart. Let's see. We have been lucky to avoid so many problems. Okay, Locklear hesitated before the door. Krondor, he snarled, rubbing his fingers across 3 red marks above the doorframe. What does that mean? Asked Patras. Captain Krondor, he's a Mordor leader. He has a reputation for setting up residents in empty dwellings. What are the 3 red marks over the door? Those are equal in number to the original inhabitants he murdered to ensure the emptiness of the structure. Rumors of his savagery have spread as far south as Krondor. Fearing an exchange would draw unwanted attention from another Mordor nearby, and realizing the futility of a confrontation, they left. Great. My problem is that I think I need that door. We're going to find out in just a second. They're going to tell us if we go too far. This game does a great job of like, very much telling you, like, hey, that's it. Like, don't go any further, you know? So we did a spell. Alright, it's trapped. But we were able to deactivate it, because James is really good at this. Let's see. Okay, so that stops frost weapons. We don't really need that, though, right now. I think this will be as far as we're going. Too many guards on the other side of the bridge for us to slip by. I don't think it's too important we go that way anyway. Let's head back to Raglan. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted to hear. Not what I wanted to hear. I'm so worried now. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. This sucks. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Patrick can barely move. I got him at the last second. So essentially what happens here, this is like a stamina-based combat system, right? So you have stamina and you have health. When you take damage, it depletes from your stamina first before it goes into your health. That stuff eventually will affect your ability to hit things and your accuracy to hit things. So when dealing with massive groups and things like this, you're constantly trying to just do a lot of damage over a large group of people and not focus fire on 1 or 2. Because in doing so, what typically happens is other people have better chances of hitting, and you're going to get hit and take a lot more unnecessary damage. Find it to be a little surreal to just have characters slide across the battlefield. It is a little weird, isn't it? It is a little weird. You're not wrong. $1993 was primitive. There you go. 1999 was primitive. But you know what? It's still fantastic. Maybe primitive, still fantastic. I have a love for this game. It's been really interesting and fun. Hold on. Place is abandoned. The semi-photorealism of the guys is great. Reminds me a lot of the Might and Magic series. Absolutely. That's a great call. Might and Magic's fantastic as well, I might add. Oh, man. Yeah, they actually, in the manual, you see the sprites. Let's see. Hold on. There might be... Let's try to work through this. Let's try to work through this in our brain here. Maybe if I don't click. There might be a way to progress the conversation without having to click. Let's see what we can do. So that. No. Oh my gosh. That is brutal. That is brutal. I'm going to have to find a workaround if I want to continue this playthrough. Let's see. Let's see. Chapter 4 locks up. It says, yeah. We've got another dungeon. Freely wander around. I enter a building. The program freezes up. Yes. Once in a building. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It happens a bunch for me. Let's see what they have to say. Go into your options screen and reduce the detail. Maybe even shut off the music. Let's see if that works. Let's see if it works. I hope it does. Let's see what happens. Something says turn off the lower the detail. Let's put it on high. Let's see. Even turn off the music. Let's see if this fixes it. This would be crazy. This would be monumental. Please work. Let's see. So the game just locks up on us when we go into conversations. Oh man, Wing Commander. I did have Wing Commander working on my PC, but it was a much older or a much newer computer at the time, so it worked just fine, surprisingly. Let's see what happens. Holy smokes. It worked. As Patches picked up the loot and began to play, he was amazed by the huge assortment of gears, pulleys, springs, and other equipment that were scattered around the house. The mortal was obviously some sort of engineer. What is all this stuff? Whispered Locklear. Cannot be sure, but I recall stories of a mortal weapon maker whose ideas and plans were sometimes too inspired even for Delicon. He was known to be a bit of a musician, though not a good one, and he used to demand musicians play for him when he worked. Only they couldn't play better than he, or, stop that racket, this isn't music you play. I could make better music dropping that instrument down a flight of stairs. Get out of my house. Not wanting to upset him any further, they agreed to leave. As they stepped out the door, Patches whispered, I tried not to play my best, but playing poorly can sometimes be as difficult as playing well. Okay, so that worked. Now we don't have any music, though, which stinks. Huh. Yeah, they're gonna sing. Okay, so Patris's skill's not that good? His barding isn't up to snuff yet? Is it increasing, though? It might be increasing. I want to see. No, it is not. How do I get through that then? He played. Okay, his ability is going up. Okay. I want to see if having the music will fix this still. Like if the music will be okay. And just that the detail was the real culprit. No, the music is the problem. Okay. Interesting. That's odd, so we have to be musicless for this portion at least. Interesting. Okay. What we'll do is just keep trying to practice at the end. So I think that's what's going to help us here. So we're going to just be barding it up and getting kicked out. Out, out, out. Sound Blaster trolling from 1993. I know, right? Oh my gosh. It seems insane, right? That's the culprit. And we were stuck with that situation for so long. Luckily, we'd been able to avoid like all the houses that caused that problem, you know? And we're able to continue moving through, but still. It's time to grind. How's it going, folks? So yeah, the next game on the docket, after we beat Betrayal at Krondor, we're probably going to play some light and fluffy stuff. Some easy things, some things that will take up a long time. We have a list that we're going to be pulling from. I have some interest in playing some early 2000s stuff from like Ubisoft. They have this really crazy game. I can't remember the name of it, but I just bought it for 75 cents. It was this weird like Pokemon inspired fantasy game from Ubisoft in like the like 2009 2010 era. It's really weird looking. I'm very curious about this. But I also got a whole bunch of other stuff lined up. We're going to be playing a really great adventure game, a split screen co-op required adventure game called A Way Out, which I'm with my good friend Lepilikos, who's my moderator here. Let's see. Also, I've learned that the Myst MMO, Myst Online Ooh Live, is getting new content. New fan-made content, of course, implemented into their official servers. That may be my favorite game of all time. And yes, I know, that doesn't make any sense. But I love it. I love that game so much. Probably one of the most intelligent adventure games out there. Filled to the brim with detail. Unparalleled. It's so fantastic. Hey, Toker, how's it going, man? Dude, 2 more days till the big day, man. Are you excited? Are you excited? I'm stoked, dude. 2 more days till you get married. Nope, we're still not good enough at playing music. It moves a lot quicker when without the music. Sitting here with Isaac and Gamer. Oh, dude, she came for the wedding. Let her know I said hello. It's so good to know that you guys are all hanging out. My favorite fun straighting game is Freedom Fighters from 2002 to 2003. $60 for that sucker new. And you bet I beat it on the OG GameCube. Very nice. Freedom Fighters is a interesting game. It's one of those weird things, right? There are some games that can be incredibly frustrating that you're just not willing to put yourself through. You know? You're just like, nah, never mind. I'm done. But then there's some that, like, this game has been frustrating sometimes. There's been situations where you're put into these combat scenarios that just aren't enjoyable. They just aren't. And let's see. Yeah. Whoops. Okay. Let's see if that's enough. But luckily we were able to kind of overcome those things with a little bit of, you know, save scumming. And we were able to get through it. Thankfully. Okay. So like what? Okay. Though not a good one. He used to demand musicians play for him while he worked. Hold on. So where are we going then after this point, right? Empty dwellings, that's... what's his name? No one's lived here. Okay. Okay, so that's just somebody yelling at them. Huh. Okay, let me talk to this dude again. The push south, he says, the Kingdom Baron will crush us utterly unless the engineer has come up with something. Okay. I'm going to hit this a bunch and see what happens if it improves his skill. No. Huh. I'm wondering what I need to do now, man. I'm stumped. I'm going to go look at the catapult again. Maybe it'll give me some inspiration. I don't know. Oh, then that's going to take us back. Where's that catapult at? We'll sleep until the sun goes up. Luckily, we have 1,000,000 rations. We don't even have to be concerned with all that stuff. What happened to the catapult? There it is. Yep. So they're saying we have to find the replacement gear. I'm curious about where that is. Because I thought that with the engineer, that'd help us. The engineer would give us the tools that we needed. But apparently that's not the case. Curious. I hate that there's no music now. It drives me crazy. We're stuck. I want to turn it back on until we have to try again, you know? But we're like... Ooh, Rouge wants a compliment. Who do you want the compliment to be? Do you want it to be for you? Or would you like it to be for somebody in particular? I'll be happy to give it to anybody. I'll be more than happy to, Rouge. Wandering. Just wandering. Anybody is good. Well, then right to you, Rouge. Rouge. Everybody, shh, shh, shh. Everyone, shh, 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 shh. Rouge, this is for you. Right? I've been in Pharaoh the Pharaoh's chat. I see you. Couldn't find a more loving and supportive person right there. Rouge, you've been like a major presence in Pharaoh the Pharaoh's community. Super great person, by the way. If anybody has never been there, she is fantastic. She plays a lot of adventure games, plays a lot of cool action platformers, retro, you know, primarily. Super awesome lady. I see you, Rouge. You are a fantastic member of our community and super, super friendly. Cannot stress enough. Now, if only I knew what to do right now in this game. Let's cast my spyglass. So yeah, there's that, and there's the catapult. I'm not here to sing for you. Why are you annoying me? Be gone. Huh, okay. I don't understand what the point of that is. Oh my goodness. Maybe at the shop there's something? What's here? Nothing. Left behind by nobody. I might go visit the tents again and talk to the folks there real quick. Purpose of service of being there again. Don't see anybody there. We should leave. Considering the circumstances. Hasn't been lived in. Okay, he didn't have anything to say there. Let's see. Krondor's locked himself up. Okay, maybe we have all we need. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe we have everything that we need. We came to kind of learn the plans. But my brain was like, we have to use the catapult as a distraction. And I'm still pretty sure that's the case. Hold on. I'm going to look it up. Because I want to know if I'm like crazy. I feel like I'm going crazy with this. Let me see. We're in chapter 4. No, we're actually in chapter 5. We're in chapter 5 now. Nice. Huh. So it tells me we have to get the part. We have to get the part. And that it says that it's in the box by the river. This one. Oh, there's multiple boxes. I did not see these other boxes. That's why. Okay. Let's see if there's any other ones, because I'm not seeing it there. There should be 4 boxes. Okay, there's that one. Well, we got hurt, but we'll be fine. There's the gear. I'm not a smart man. I'm not a smart man. I saw one box. I didn't see any other boxes. We all got severely hurt. Oops, stop. Oh, James ran out of rations, so he's like dying. So dumb. It goes so quickly too. So what we can do, let's reload. Let's reload real quick. And we can probably turn the sound back on now because we don't need to talk to the one guy. Let's see. So he needs to cast the Eyes of Sarg. Deactivated. Good. There. Now we don't have to worry about it. But we do need to give him some rations because he's gonna die. All right. Here we go. Back into the fray once more. Now we can repair the catapult and use it for a distraction to get into the guy's base. Locklear took a deep breath. Holding the catapult part they had found in the box and using some makeshift tools, he kneeled before the machine and set to work. It took nearly 2 hours to install the part, and though Locklear wasn't positive the machine would work at all, he stepped back to admire his handiwork. I'm not an engineer, but I think that should work, he said, motioning to the others to join him. Together they stood before the strange wooden creature, its one arm poised, ready to fling its special cargo into the sleepy Moradel town of Raglan. Locklear took a deep breath. Shall we give it a try, he asked. Yes. Patras backed away from the catapult. Wiping his forehead with the back of his hand, Locklear bent down to grab the wooden handle that would bring the monster to life. James placed a hand on the wooden monster. It was a marvel of Moradel engineering, and though short on artistic value, something that marked a difference between the Moradel and their elven cousins, it showed signs of precision craftsmanship. Fitting we could turn their own weapon against them, Locklear said. Though they had already done the damage they'd come to do, James wanted to watch the machine work one more time. Okay, so we're going back. Wait, we're going this way. Back into the town. The door was ajar. Locklear tried to enter the small house, but something seemed to be blocking the door. Pushed a little harder, and reluctantly the door swung open a little further. Peering into the darkened room, they could make out the form of a male Moradel on the floor. Kroldek's body was curled into a fetal position, and he appeared to be clutching at his throat. The engineer knew his business quite well, he said. That catapult load seemed to have been very effective. Searched the room quickly. After several minutes of intensive examination, Patras called out, "I think I found something." Behind a wooden writing desk, on the sword of Lim's Kragma, a small pouch with 150 gold coins, and a set of company orders. That would put a kink in the mortal attack plans. So we have a sword of Lim's Kragma. Let's look at this guy. Oops. A shiver ran down Patras' spine. Though the weight and play of the sword were as he expected, there was a darkness about the blade that unsettled him. No matter how he turned it, light refused to reflect off its highly polished surface. Ooh. We're going to equip that. For sure. Okay. And what does the thing read? After looking at the note for several minutes, Patras shook his head. Duke Martin will be pleased with this, I would think. Now we just need to get it back to him. And then what have we got? Ooh, a really good emerald, too. Okay. Well, we made it. We did it. Let's get out of here. Let's blow this popsicle stand, man. All right. Snow capped the mountains. James motioned for a temporary halt as they came through the pass into their new surroundings. Vaguely, he could sense the cold that was coming down from the north. He could imagine it would be even colder on the other side of the teeth of the world. Yep, we're back here. These guys are our buddies now. Yay! Goblins halted them. "You remember us, don't you?" James said, shouting it out to the waiting band. "You have a new contract with us." "We remember," the goblin leader replied. "We shall be leaving for Northwarden soon, as asked. Come through, you shall not be harmed." Thank you. Yep, Gula say we obey, you shall not be harmed. Yay! Oops. Sleep till morning. And then when the split happens, we head in the other direction. Yep, northward. Yay! We made it. Holy smokes, did we make it. Oops. I want to go to the shop first. It doesn't have what we want. So let's just exit and we'll talk to the guy. GG? I mean, we'll see. I still do not like the look of this battle, Senior James. What do you need? Oh. We have to go talk to the other guy then. He's this way, I think. Where is he? He should be this way here. There we are.
I was wondering where you two were.
Alright, things aren't going well. The plans. We got the plans for you, Martin. Too bad you didn't come with us, though. Quite a bit of fun. Oh, won't be much time for that soon. My gut instinct tells me they'll begin the assault in the next few days. Before we go back to the castle, there's something I'd like you three to check out for me. Got this mysterious note from someone that said a company of mortal illusionists has slipped behind Northwarden. I thought Patras would know how best to deal with them. Oh, just like those pointy-eared lily munchers to go stealing my ideas. Baron Gabbett had me working on something like that, but I could never get the kinks out. I knew my tongue was itching for some reason, but if we run across them, I got something that'll fix their hindquarters in a bat's fart. Whoever wrote the note doesn't specify where they are supposed to be located. So if you three would just take a swing southwest and see what you can find. Once you're done, come back and we'll head to the castle together. Those lily munchers. It's a Bart fat. Wait, bat fart. Well, that at least answers a few questions. We'd best be back at getting the battle in order. Anything else you need at the moment? Just for you three to be careful. Yep. All right. So we got to go southwest then. So yeah, we're heading out to this area here then to camp on the teeth and stuff, I think. Looking to get into a fight. That's for sure. Yeah, the road's gonna swing around. We need to go. We need to go this way. Good morning. Yeah, this way. Always save. Always save. Because there's so much going on all the time. And like you risk death at any second. So you always have to be very, very cautious. Because this game does not mess around. Okay, let's go sleep and get fully healed. Leave, and I gotta give more rations to James. Means I can open up this thing now. I couldn't get in here before. Alright, so this is where we can sell our gems and stuff. Right? 427 sovereigns. Oh, man. Hold on. I think we should sell those those diamonds. I think they're meant to be sold because we're in a situation where we had to spend so much money and they really intended you to go and sell the diamonds here. Because now we have 7,703. That's so much. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Because we couldn't get in there before lock up. Yeah, we're here already. Yep, been here before. That's the brutal scene with the trolls. Okay. We're not supposed to go that too far out. Oh, I bet you that feeling that poke, that prick is in this area here was what did it. Yeah. Patras stopped. James took a few more steps before he realized the magician wasn't with him. Turned to find him staring off into the bushes with a comical questioning look. Oh, something ain't right about things here, Patras said, turning in a slow circle. Ain't what they appear to be at all. And if a thing ain't what it looks like, that means it's wearing some kind of mask. What are you babbling on about? Locklear asked. The invisible magicians, you donkey! Patras shot back almost imperceptibly. His mouth began to move, silently forming words long forgotten. His lips began to move faster, in sync with a secret accelerating rhythm only he could know. Then he gave voice to the words, and they tumbled from his throat louder and louder until he was nearly shouting. James saw a strange shimmering in the air. He turned to look, and before his amazed eyes saw a huddled pack of mortal spellcasters. Oh, jeez. That's how it starts? Oh, my God. That's... Oh, are you serious? Are you serious, game? We're just gonna kill... We're just gonna kill him. Right away. I got to move once. I got to move once. Are you serious? Right now, game. Is that what's happening? They done me wrong. Game, you done me wrong. Insane. Insane that that's what they would do. right? But part of me wonders, like, hey, if I just go to the castle, it's going to end the chapter, right? That's what my brain's thinking. Infinity pool. Cool, learn to spell. All right, I mean, I guess that's that. I'm hoping that the chapter just kind of convenes. I'm not going to save. We're just going to get back and pray. Because that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Because the characters won't die. That just doesn't happen. We don't want to go southeast. We want to keep going this way.
I was wondering where you two were.
Scratch one group of mortal magicians. We found them, Duke. Good. I want you three to hurry ahead to the castle. They've already turned back an irritation assault today. I think the Baron can use your help right now. Need to find out what was happened to one of our scouts that's gone missing. I'll be along as soon as I can. Okay. So yeah, let's head back to the castle, and let's hope that everything goes okay. So we keep heading north. At the next deviation, we head east. Let's just see what happens. Yes! Okay. So that's good. Don't have to worry about having to heal them and stuff like that. We just were able to beat that thing. The portcullis creaked. An ashen-faced soldier trembled as he labored at the monolithic peg wheel, his back arched backwards, taut as a bowstring as he hauled the iron gate upwards. With a jerk of his neck, he gasped between clenched teeth for James and his companions to hurry inside. Within a handful of soldiers hurried to various tasks on the battlements, and panicked captains attempted to rally the surviving contingents of the day's fighting. Something's wrong, James muttered, observing the disarray. What's happened? Baron Gabbett's been murdered. That's what happened, a nearby soldier shouted, glancing up from where he worked feverishly at unplugging a keg of oil. Found a bloody nest of nighthawks in our midst. They murdered the Baron's staff, 3 of the captains, before we cornered them in a storeroom. Torch these corpses immediately, James ordered. They might be black slayers. Where's Duke Martin? Don't know. You're the closest thing we have to nobility at the moment. Guess that puts you in command, senor. James said something as a rumble of thunder split the sky. Half-dead soldiers trumped past, their eyes hollowed with exhaustion as they traded places with equally worn men brought from the dining hall turned infirmary. Few men still possessed clothing unstained by blood. Dour with the turn of events, James eyed the horizon for any sign of help. In all likelihood, the Moradel would attempt to breach the wall today, and there was little he could do about it. Nighthawk treachery had silenced their cannons, and too many men had fallen in 4 days of heavy fighting. "Attack!" a voice screamed in the stillness. "Attack! Men on the south face!" James cast a fuming curse into the sunrise. He might die, but he would send as many Moradel as he could reach into the halls of the Death Goddess before he'd go down with 1 HP. Ooh. The Moradel thrashed. As life dimmed in his horrified eyes, he toppled backward into a wooden balustrade. With an ear-splitting shriek, the railing sundered into flying splinters, tumbled after the flailing feet, as he disappeared into nothingness. Almost too dazed to breathe, James bolted to the wall to sight his fallen opponent. A crumpled heap of armor lay far below, splashed in gore and a spreading stain of red. Close by, a grim-looking figure lowered the crossbow and tilted up his shaggy, dark head to favor the senior with a rare smile. Orutha. It's the King of Krondor. I was beginning to believe you were going to miss all the fun. Delacan would think me impolite if I didn't attend his little party. How were the men? very bad. Of the original garrison of 415 men, 227 are dead, 35 are mortally wounded, and the rest are afflicted with dysentery or are too exhausted to wield a sword. Your arrival came none too soon. No discourtesy intended, Prince, but why did you wait so long in coming? We made all haste, nearly to the point of calamity. Your well-meaning messengers bumped into trouble and nearly didn't win themselves free. Consequently, we didn't receive your word until it was nearly too late for us to respond. We were greatly fortunate to arrive as soon as we did. The Mordell are in retreat? What few of them remain? By the accounts of my scouts, they think there may have been up to at least 6 companies in the hills. About that. Since they didn't have the decency to attack all at once, we couldn't tell. If our attackers are to be believed, 4 of those companies slipped out a week ago, while the other 2 kept your forces pinned down. The rest apparently turned to southwest. Sounds like they mean to strike at High Castle. Undoubtedly. Since the Mordell leader has mimicked many of the moves that his predecessor, Mormandamus, made, it stands to reason he may make many of the same mistakes. As a precaution, I split my forces and diverted half of them to High Castle. As soon as we're finished cleaning up here, I'll take the rest of our companies to engage him there. Chapter 6. Betrayal. Betrayal! After this, we'll call it a night. We're just going to do the intro. Pug concentrated on the storm. He's like this major spellcaster. He's the Gandalf of this universe. Whitecaps curled on the face of the bitter sea as furious jags of lightning slashed down from a darkening sky. Far off, the wobbling sails of ships leapt in the troughs of gray waves, struggling desperately against winds that threatened to shear them into ragged scraps. Fishermen and frenzied shipmasters busied themselves along Krondor's docks as they raced to batten down flapping hatches and prevent unsecured goods from pitching into the churning seas. Everywhere there were planks and hammers and ropes, but among the workers not a soul dared utter a word. Wrongness. Pug sensed it as clearly as he smelled the salt in the air and felt the hardwood railing under his hand. What had begun 3 days ago as a seemingly weak summer squall was intensifying into a threshing eye of violence. Within hours, it would make landfall, doubtless bruising the livelihoods of many coastal towns, Krondor among them. Perhaps it can be tamed, Pug thought, his face twisting into a frown. More of a lesser path of fare, but it should be simple enough. Even as he extended his hand, the image of another storm formed in his mind, unbidden. A terrifying storm that had raged over his head as he came into the greatness of his power in a far distant empire called Suranuani. A storm that had tested his right to be a member of the alien assembly of magicians. A storm that had rent open the heavens and forever set him apart from other mortal men. Energy leapt from Pug's outstretched fingers into the heart of the storm, exploding within it a glorious rainbow pattern that illuminated the clouds in a throbbing elemental display. Greenish bands of color danced the skies. The winds began to abate. The torrential rains quickly softened in a mild patter as blue blasts of energy moved between sea and sky. Gently, the ocean stilled of its own accord. Satisfied the threat was reduced, Pug discontinued the spell with a slicing gesture and stepped back to watch the storm's progress. The sight eased his mind and allowed him time to mull over a series of issues, not the least of which was the ruined vacation that he, his wife Katala, and daughter Gamina had intended on making in Krondor. But like a lodestone to metal, he found his thoughts returning again and again to recollections of the Empire. Arrayed in flame, the enemy comes to shriek his cadence on skeleton drums. For thunder's spite will raise our call, though down shall crumble empire all. A Sarani poet. I believe he was House Omichan? House Minwanabi. Reign of the 53rd light of heaven. Is there something you need to see me about, Makala? I'm busy. Busy? You've been behaving like a Nidra bull with a burn is bit. Ooh, a burn is bit. I came to ask what has Pug of Stardock so distracted that he cannot find time to meet his associate magicians? Has his reputation so inflated that a member of the Sarani Assembly is no longer worthy of his attention? I'm sorry. Perhaps you're right. I've just been very preoccupied. I find myself obsessed with this storm. All week I've felt it building over the bitter sea, and all the while I've suspected there's more to it that is immediately perceptible. Doesn't feel natural. Have you seen its like? I've seen its match in destruction, as I recall. You created far more havoc in Suranawani when you disrupted my emperor's imperial games. Several city blocks destroyed, countless lives lost, the warlord cast down in dishonor. I had a feeling you didn't summon a rift door to chastise me about my lack of attention. What is this about, McCullough? Your loyalties, Pug. While you claim loyalty to the Empire, you live your life under the influence of a Midkemian king. Took to wife a Thuril Highlander. Your judgment is suspect. From the day I left the Empire, my judgment and my loyalties ceased to be the concern of the Assembly of Magicians. I do what I see as best for all concerned. I see, then. Is any act justifiable to that end? If it serves the common good, yes. Even if it violates an individual's rights. What do you wish for me to say, McCullough? You read me as if I were one of your Nidra cows. But I'm in no mood for games. State your business. Very well. Your daughter Gamina has blossomed into a remarkable young woman. She is beautiful, gracious, and an honor to your house. Unfortunately, she's also a girl with remarkable powers. Your love for your daughter has led you into a grievous miscarriage of your duties. Why have you let her live? My estimation of a person's magical talent is not determined by their sex, McCullough, and I refuse to murder my child to appease a barbaric tenet of the Assembly. They have no authority in Midkemia. In this instance, I believe they will choose to ignore the geography. At this juncture, the Assembly is troubled, surrounded by anti-traditionalists who embrace your Midkemian values, led in large part by Mara of the Akoma. Open defiance by you as our most notable member could weaken our position with the Empire. That is something we cannot afford. We would be forced to make you publicly comply. Although I am equally wary of female abomination. My goodness. I have no desire to see your daughter dead. I have acted on your behalf and placed her in exile until such a time we can agree upon her ultimate fate. Why didn't you consult me? Where have you sent her? Seek her if you wish, but it will avail you little. Your further interference will likely ensure that the Assembly will carry out its order of death. They will be unable to kill her, however, if they cannot find her. It would be to your advantage to leave her be. I will not content myself to sit here while the Assembly banters about the value of my daughter's life. I shall find her, and then you tell your brethren to expect my visit. You embark on a dangerous road, but it is yours to take. Farewell, then, Pug. Whee! The Book of Macros. He's doing some MMORPG talk. He's doing some macros. The meditation tower being one of the first places I suspected of looking, I went there as soon as I discovered that neither he nor my daughter appeared for breakfast that morning. There I found the message they had burnt into the wall. The Book of Macros? What do you think the message means? I thought for a while that he intended for us to contact the magician named Macros, but it'd be a feat impossible for Ian Pug to accomplish. Presses the macro key. Let's mash it. Mash the macro key, Rouge. Mash it. But it would be a feat impossible for even Pug to accomplish. Macros left Macadamia long ago, and all he left behind were his writings. And presumably this Book of Macros would be among the books he left behind, right? Perhaps, but I cannot be certain. The library that Macros left on Sorcerer's Isle was vast, and it took us the better part of a year to move the bulk of it to the Academy at Stardock. Since that time, some of the volumes have been lent out to various scribes so that they can be catalogued and transcribed. And the book could be anywhere? A new approach. Before he disappeared, did you know anything unusual that he may have said or done? As I said earlier, he had seemed agitated for some long time, but yes, there was something. About a month ago, we were walking into the gardens outside of the palace, just the two of us enjoying the day, when he suddenly halted, us near a sewer grate. When I asked him what was wrong, he said, "Not all of the sheep are in our fold." Sheep? Forgive me, lady, but your husband seems to have an infuriating penchant for the cryptic. Not ordinarily, nope, only when things are on his mind, but come. I must head towards Stardock and look for evidence of this Book of Macros there. Where should you two go? We go below into the sewers under Krondor, Owen, good lady. I believe we shepherds have an errant flock of sheep to find. Okay. Whew. Alright, let's save this. Act 5. Act 6? Act 6. Holy smokes, we're next 6. First off, Rouge, thanks for hanging out. I greatly appreciate it. Let's go find somebody to raid. And of course, thanks to the delightful, always delightful, Decaf Jetty for the wonderful raid. So nice of them. Thank you all for hanging out. We beat Link to the Past tonight. We were able to get through Act 5 in Betrayal at Krondor. I'm going to be back again Friday night. Friday night, we play more Betrayal at Krondor. But when 1 a.m. tolls Eastern Time, we'll be meeting with the developers of Call of Saragnar, an amazing up-and-coming indie RPG inspired heavily by Betrayal at Krondor. Similar visuals, similar combat style, digitized actors as well. Looks like it's great. It's going to be super fun. I am freaking out because I was following this game and they came in the chat and were like, hey, do you want to play the demo and stream it? I'm like, yes! Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So we're going to do that. Let's see. Okay, so look. Hungry Goria is celebrating her 5-year stream anniversary. We have to go raid her to celebrate. Let's go wish her a happy 5th anniversary. And I always do a catchphrase inspired by one of the great, a spectacular adventure game called Callahan's Crosstime Saloon. They do a toast to humor. Bye, everybody. Bye.